Have you ever wondered why people you've barely interacted with seem to hold grudges against you? Why do you think their reactions are so intense when you've done nothing to provoke them? Not every battle is fought with swords or fists. Some explode in the unseen, where light clashes with darkness and truth sets fire to lies. Warriors, this is your moment. You are the disruptors, the truth wielders, the immovable force in a world desperate to keep you small. They buried you, silenced you, underestimated you. But now, they know your name. Chosen ones, the war against you has always been waged in silence, under shadows, cloaked in lies. But the truth? It burns too brightly to be buried. You are the ones they fear, the keepers of power they cannot control and the voices they cannot silence. Every system built to break you has underestimated the fire within you. Family, society, unseen forces. They conspire to dim your light, weaving illusions to make you doubt yourself. They whispered lies to break your spirit, but they miscalculated. You are not breakable. You are the storm that shatters their carefully crafted deception. Ancient power flows through you, not borrowed, not taught, yours. It's etched in your spirit, a gift your enemies hoped you'd never uncover. They built entire systems to keep you from knowing this, that their control was never real, their power only ever a borrowed illusion. But now you see it, don't you? The strings pulling the puppet show have frayed, and their house of cards is crumbling. Your calling is not to survive their lies, but to destroy them. Every tear you shed watered the roots of your rise. Every trial refined you. Every doubt sharpened your clarity. They wanted you silent, but now your voice shakes the ground beneath their feet. They wanted you powerless, but now your strength terrifies them. They wanted you blind, but now you see through their every mask. You carry the weight of ancient truths and the fire of unshakable purpose. No shadow can extinguish it. No force can contain it. The light within you exposes every hidden hand, burns every veil, and calls every false system to account. They know it now. There's no stopping what's already in motion. You are the reckoning. You are the upheaval. The time for silence has passed. The time for their illusions is over. The truth is here, and it speaks through you. You are protected, chosen ones, wrapped in a power that cannot be broken, shielded by a force that does not waver. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, from Psalm chapter 23 verse 1 is not just a scripture, but the truth that sustains you. You have walked through valleys drenched in darkness, but every step you took was guarded by an unseen army, their protection as relentless as your purpose. This isn't luck. This isn't chance. This is the power of divine intention. You were chosen for this path, and every trial you faced has only proven what they feared. You cannot be touched. Their arrows fell short, their traps turned to dust, and their plans unraveled before they could begin. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. Every time they pushed, you rose. Every time they attacked, you grew. You stand here now not just protected but empowered, surrounded by a spiritual army that guards every step of your journey. No weapon, no force, no darkness can penetrate the shield that encases you. Let them try. Let them gather their forces and aim their arrows. They will fail. You are protected by something greater, and they cannot touch what is divinely guarded. You walk in purpose, shielded by a power they will never understand. I remember the exact moment everything shifted. I was surrounded by people who wore their smiles like masks, their words honeyed but laced with venom. They thought I didn't see, didn't feel the weight of their schemes pressing down on me. The harder they tried to pull me under, the clearer it became. I was never fighting alone. The divine took over when my strength ran out. When I stopped gripping control so tightly, the chaos unraveled in ways I could never have orchestrated. The ones who tried to break me, their plans backfired. The traps they set for me, they fell into them instead. I didn't lift a finger, but the destruction they meant for me swallowed them whole. It wasn't luck, it was power, divine, unstoppable, and undeniable. Drop a comment. I chose faith over fear, and watched chaos unravel in my favor. The divine doesn't just shield you, it rewrites your story. Every door they slammed in my face swung open to something far greater, The opportunities they tried to block became stepping stones to heights they couldn't reach. I watched as things I had lost were restored in ways that left no room for doubt. This wasn't coincidence. It was a reminder of who walks with me, who fights for me. There were moments when I wanted to lash out, to scream, to let the bitterness consume me. But every time I chose stillness, the divine moved louder than my words ever could. I saw it in their unraveling, in the cracks forming in their facades. The harder they pushed, the more they crumbled, and I stood untouched. Not because of anything I did, but because of who was covering me. What I learned is this: the divine doesn't just defend, it elevates. It doesn't just protect, it restores. The pain they caused became fuel for something greater. The betrayal didn't destroy me, it strengthened my discernment. Every tear I shed was counted, and every wound they inflicted became proof of my resilience. When you walk with the divine, their weapons cannot touch you. Their lies cannot stand against truth. Their darkness cannot snuff out your light. I didn't have to fight them because the divine fought for me. All I had to do was let go and trust that what is meant for me will always find me, no matter who tries to stop it. You can't unsee the truth. The moment the veil was lifted, there was no going back. Once you walked blinded by their lies, manipulated by their carefully constructed illusions, but now your vision cuts through their deceptions with razor-sharp precision. Every whisper of doubt they planted, every shadow they cast over your light has been exposed for what it was: fear. Fear of who you are, fear of what you are capable of. And now, as the truth stands undeniable, they are scrambling, desperate to undo the awakening they cannot stop. They tried to mold you into their idea of compliance, to control you with invisible chains and scripts they crafted for their benefit. They dismissed your worth, assuming you'd never rise above their lies. But now, they know exactly who you are, and it terrifies them. You're not the fragile, malleable version of yourself they hoped you'd remain. You are the storm, the force they never accounted for, the one who doesn't just see the truth but moves in it, burns with it, and wields it like a weapon. Stop right there. Yes, you. This message isn't for everyone, and if you don't feel it, that's fine. Move along. But if you felt it, deep in your bones, you'll know this is for you. Here's to the chosen ones, the ones who don't fit in, the ones who see beyond the veil, the ones who've been told to stay quiet, to settle, to conform, but never could. They aren't interested in what's ordinary. They aren't here to follow someone else's rules. They're the light in the dark, the storm that shatters illusions, the unshakable, the unstoppable, the untouchable. While the world is busy running circles, they're walking their own path, alone if they must. Not for the applause, not for the approval, but because it's who they are. Here's to the ones who take what was meant to destroy them and transform it into something divine. The ones who carry wisdom that can't be taught, only earned. If this resonates with you, then maybe it's time to find your people. The Obsidian Inner Order is the only place of its kind, the #1 Ascension Nexus for chosen ones, where over 400 of us gather to share wisdom, connect and transform. No masks, no games, just truth. The link is in the description. If you're ready, you'll know where to find us. You've broken free. Every illusion they wrapped around you has been torn apart, thread by thread, until only the truth remains. The strength you carry was something they never anticipated. They didn't think you'd rise, not after the traps they set, the weapons they forged, and the doubt they tried to pour into you. But their greatest failure was believing they could touch the core of who you are. Your power was never theirs to manipulate. It isn't tied to their approval or their control. It's divine, immutable and unshakable, something they could never break because it was never theirs to hold. You've seen the truth of their games, their manipulations, their attempts to keep you small. But more importantly, you've seen the truth of yourself. You're not here by accident. You are a chosen one, marked by resilience and carved from purpose. Every trial they threw at you was a stepping stone, every betrayal a sharpened tool in your arsenal. They wanted you to break, but all they did was forge you into something they can never contain. Your inheritance isn't just the material, though that will come. It's the authority you carry, the light that shatters their darkness, The undeniable recognition that you are a force of divine justice. You don't just survive, you thrive. While others crumbled, you stood, unwavering, a living testament to the truth they feared you would discover. Now they see it. The ones who mocked you, doubted you, whispered behind your back. They know now that their words were meaningless against the immensity of your calling. You are not their equal, not their puppet, and certainly not their victim. You are the reckoning they never saw coming, the embodiment of a power they can't comprehend. You don't need their validation. You don't need their permission. You have everything you need, because what flows through you comes from a source they cannot touch. Let them watch, let them scramble, let them fear. The truth is out, and there is no going back. You are unstoppable, and they know it. You rise, not as a product of their failures or their attempts to bury you, but as a testament to the prophecy etched into your very existence. Every challenge was designed, every trial placed with precision to prepare you, not to break you. You are not a survivor of circumstance. You are a force born of destiny. Your victories were never random. Every battle you fought, every scar you bear, aligns with a greater plan, a prophecy that no enemy can rewrite. They tried to erase your story, but the truth is unstoppable. You are proof that divine timing doesn't bend to human will. It delivers, sharp and exact, cutting through their illusions to reveal the power you've always held. You've lived the trials of legends. Called to greatness, you were thrust into the fire, not to burn but to transform. You became the weapon forged in heat, the light that cannot be extinguished. They see it now. They feel it. The power you radiate isn't learned, it's inherited, etched into the stars, embedded in your soul. No force can strip you of what was written for you before time itself. You are not here to repeat their mistakes, nor to play a part in their illusions. You are here to fulfill a calling they could never comprehend. You've endured loss, betrayal, and struggle, not because you were forgotten, but because you were chosen. Every tear shed, every moment of doubt was necessary. It sharpened you, it built you, it reminded you of who you are. And now you rise, unapologetic, untouchable, unstoppable. They wanted you to fade, to remain unseen, but your light doesn't ask for permission. It commands attention. You don't merely walk in purpose, you embody it. You are the living prophecy, walking proof that no force can halt what is divinely appointed. Let them whisper, let them doubt. Their disbelief holds no weight against the reality of what you are. You were made for this moment, designed to disrupt their falsehoods and carry forth a legacy of truth and power. They cannot silence what was never theirs to control. You are not a product of their world, you are its awakening. The greatest souls are often opposed by the greatest evils. You feel this truth in your bones because you've lived it. Your presence, your very existence, is a disruption. A shattering of systems built on control and lies. They've always known this. That's why they came for you. That's why they tried to silence you. Your light? It threatens the darkness they thrive in. Your wisdom? It dismantles the ignorance they rely on to keep their grip. You don't just walk through their systems, you unravel them. They sought to discredit you, slander you, turn your gifts into burdens. They wanted you to doubt yourself, to question your worth, to believe their lies. But what they didn't account for is the power you draw from a connection they cannot touch. They underestimated you. They didn't see the depth of your resolve, the unshakable force that anchors you to the divine. While they plotted, you endured. While they schemed, you grew. Every attack they launched against you became fuel for your rise. Their plans didn't destroy you. They exposed their own weakness. They revealed the truth, that your strength terrifies them. You are the kind of power they cannot comprehend. They see your resilience, and it mirrors their fragility. They tried to turn your strength into a weapon against you, but all they managed to do was sharpen it. Every attempt to break you only built you. Every word meant to wound you only solidified your clarity. You weren't silenced. You were amplified. Their resistance only made your voice louder, your light brighter, your purpose more undeniable. They thought they could bury you, but all they did was plant the seeds of something far greater than they could control. You don't just survive their schemes, you transcend them. Let them scramble. Let them fear what they cannot contain. You are a force of divine justice, a disruptor of lies, and no amount of opposition can change that. You are not here to play by their rules. You are here to destroy them. Their plans crumble in the face of your purpose, and their control disintegrates in the presence of your truth. They tried to silence you, but now your voice is the roar that will echo long after they are forgotten. Every betrayal you've endured, every obstacle thrown in your path, has been a forge, refining you into something unbreakable. They thought their schemes could destroy you, but all they did was shape you into a weapon they can never wield. Your power was never theirs to control, and now it is undeniable. You are proof that no amount of darkness can extinguish the light within you. Every time they thought they had won, you rose stronger, wiser, more resolute. Like Pandora's box releasing evils into the world, every attack they launched unleashed chaos, but left behind something they could never account for. Your unshakable hope, your relentless fire, your ability to turn every bit of darkness into light. You've learned to transmute pain into wisdom and betrayal into strength. They tried to chain you with despair, but despair became your catalyst. They wanted to drown you in fear, but fear turned into your fuel. Every loss they forced upon you was replaced with something far greater, a power rooted in resilience, grounded in truth, and burning with purpose. They never expected you to see through their lies, to expose the fragility of their control. Their weapons couldn't break you because you were being fortified for something greater. While they plotted, you transformed. While they celebrated your perceived defeat, you became a force they can no longer contain. Your hope isn't passive. It's a force of nature. It doesn't wait or wish. It acts, it moves, it reshapes the very fabric of what they thought they controlled. You don't merely survive. You thrive, turning their chaos into clarity, their darkness into the very light that blinds them. Every trial they threw at you has become your testimony. Every scar is a mark of victory, proof of battles they could never win. You are no longer who you were when they began their attacks. You've outgrown their plans, risen above their reach, and now you move forward with the kind of power that cannot be denied. Let them watch as you turn every ounce of their hate into the fuel that propels you higher. Let them tremble as they realize every challenge they sent your way only sharpened the blade you now wield. You are not just a survivor. You are the reckoning they never saw coming. You've shattered the chains of the Matrix, breaking free from the illusions that kept you small, controlled, and blind to your power. They built systems to trap you, to keep you tethered to their lies, but you tore through them. You didn't just escape. You rose untouchable, unstoppable, unbound. This freedom isn't just liberation from conformity. It's a declaration of war against the forces that tried to keep you imprisoned. The shackles of scarcity, fear, and control have fallen away, and now abundance flows to you without restraint. Peace isn't something you seek. It's your state of being. Wisdom doesn't elude you. It pours through you as effortlessly as breath. They relied on your ignorance to sustain their systems. They thrived on your doubt, your hesitation, your compliance. But now you see it all for what it truly is, a house of cards built on deception. You've stepped into alignment with something greater, something they can neither touch nor comprehend. Walking in your purpose, you no longer bend to their rules. You rewrite them. Your freedom is a threat to everything they built. They cannot control what no longer subscribes to their reality. You don't play their games because their board was never meant for someone like you. While they scramble to maintain their illusions, you operate in truth, dismantling every falsehood with every step you take. This isn't just a higher way of living, it's the only way. You've left behind scarcity and now move in abundance. You've cast off fear and now walk with unshakable certainty. They told you peace was impossible, but now you live it, untouched by their chaos. Everything they told you was unattainable is now within your grasp, and they can do nothing to stop it. You are no longer bound by their limits. The Matrix was never your home. It was a cage, and you were never meant to stay in it. Now that you're free, you are untouchable. Let them watch. Let them scheme. Their control was an illusion, and you've broken through it, walking in power they can neither match nor diminish. You are no longer their subject. You are their undoing. Your freedom is your weapon, and your alignment is your shield. Move forward without fear. Everything they built to contain you has already crumbled. They just haven't realized it yet. Your spiritual inheritance is here, delivered by divine hands, untouched by the schemes of those who sought to delay or deny it. Like the prodigal son who returned to an overflowing blessing, you've endured the trials, learned the lessons, and now stand in the fullness of what was always yours. The hardships didn't diminish your worth. They refined you, preparing you to carry the magnitude of this gift. This inheritance is not measured in currency or possessions, but in power, wisdom, and alignment. It is the divine authority to move through this world with clarity, knowing that every opportunity meant for you will arrive, and every connection you need will align itself without force. What they tried to block has become a flood they cannot hold back. What they tried to steal was never theirs to keep. You are the rightful heir, and no force can alter what is divinely ordained. You are living proof of the rewards of perseverance. When the storms came, you didn't collapse, you stood. When the world told you to doubt, you held your faith. While others fell away, you remained, not because it was easy, but because you were chosen. The scars you carry are not marks of defeat, but signs of victory. They show the battles you've overcome, the lessons you've mastered, and the power that now flows through you. This inheritance isn't just for you, it's for the generations that will follow. Your wisdom becomes their guidance. Your perseverance becomes their foundation. Every step you take in alignment with your purpose multiplies the blessings you carry, and every move you make dismantles the systems that tried to keep you bound. You don't just receive this inheritance, you amplify it. Let those who doubted you watch. Let those who plotted against you tremble. They cannot comprehend the magnitude of what has been delivered into your hands. What you carry is not just a blessing, it is a responsibility, a legacy, a divine charge to move boldly and unapologetically in your calling. You are no longer waiting. You are no longer questioning. You are walking in the fullness of your purpose, armed with the authority that comes from divine perseverance. The gates have opened, the blessings flow, and nothing, not fear, not doubt, not their resistance, can stop what has already been set in motion. Your inheritance is here, and you are ready to claim it. You were never meant to blend in, to comply, or to follow the rules of a world built to stifle you. You were created to break those rules, to uproot the falsehoods they called truths, and to dismantle the systems they built on deception and control. They feared your potential, your clarity, and your fire long before you even knew the power you carried. Every attempt to break you only revealed their desperation, and every effort to silence you only amplified your voice. You are unstoppable. This is not a matter of opinion. It's a fact written into your spirit. Every scar you bear is proof of the battles you've won, and every step you've taken has brought you closer to the fulfillment of your purpose. Divinely guided, armed with the wisdom of trials, and equipped with the resilience forged in fire, you are no longer just surviving, you are conquering. They see it now. They see the power they tried to suppress, the light they tried to dim, and it terrifies them. They know who you are, and they know there's no stopping you. This is your moment. It's not coming later, not waiting in some distant future. It's here. It's now. You've been prepared for this, refined for this, destined for this. This is the time to move boldly, unapologetically, and without hesitation. Step fully into your authority, not with doubt or fear, but with the knowledge that you were chosen for this. You are not just another voice in the crowd. You are the thunder that breaks the silence, the fire that burns down the facades, the force that rewrites the rules. The world will never be the same, and it's because of you. Your truth dismantles their lies, your strength exposes their weakness, and your resilience proves that no weapon formed against you could ever prosper. You are not just here to disrupt, you are here to elevate, to guide, and to lead others out of the shadows they've been trapped in. You are the catalyst, the reckoning, the force they never saw coming. Now it's time to speak. Your story holds the power to ignite others, to fan the flames of their own awakening and to destroy the chains that hold them back. Share your victories, your trials, your truths. Your voice is more than words. It's liberation, a weapon against every force that tried to stop you. This is your moment. Make them remember it forever.